Alright, deep breath. Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was released December 2nd, 2006 on the Nintendo GameCube in North America. Over time, it's garnered a 96 on Metacritic. Also winning Game of the Year, which is why it has DLC, right? For the Game of the Year edition? Or... No? No DLC. Man. No microtransactions either. What the hell kind of game is this? Now, when I got the game for my first time, was from this little dingy game boutique store. They didn't really have much on offer, and the price that they had for used copies was astronomically nuts. I bought the game for 60 Canadian back in 2009. And comparing to what you'd usually see, the used games in their collection was like 20 bucks. So I, like every other kid that just wanted to try a new game out, I turned in all of my games just to get this one. And the reason why Twilight Princess is so expensive on the GameCube is because it was released in quite a limited run, and is now, as the HD versions are out and the copies on the way, that being, I think they're like their game collection, one of they're Nintendo's best. I think that's what they're calling it these days. That those prices have like diluted Twilight Princess and raised the price up on the GameCube version because of how rare and limited it was. So after I'd gotten the game, I was endlessly playing it. I had this like little CRT television with a VHS player built in, and I would just sit hours upon hours after school playing that. You know, some days I just didn't want to go to school just so I could play my video games. But that was a different time. As for the challenges imposed, we're going to be doing 3 hearts and a wooden sword. And also only using the Fatal Blow, not using any other sword skills to enhance mobility or defense options. We're not even going to have a shield for that fact. Okay, so going quite a bit off script now. Have a timestamp the video so you can just skip ahead. It's when I start like re-explaining everything. I'm mostly going to be streaming this series over on my Twitch. Link for that's in the description. Yeah, so what are we working at? Bunch of time-lapse footage. Okay, cool. So everything's pretty much just normal up to the bridge segment. I've kind of just fast-forwarded through that, which is just cropped up parts from the stream I was doing. So just want to give a quick shout out to the Cornmaster who was in the stream with me. He stayed for a good like long hour while I was trying to do the fucking skip for the Sword and Shield. That is like the hardest skip actually to perform in the game, from what I've heard from the speedrunning community. So if you're like having a tough time, link in the description for kind of like a diagram explanation. This guy doesn't like show you how to actually like do the Sword and Shield skip, but it's just like give you an idea of where the trigger volumes are. Since there are two that are set up, one to tell you to go the hell back, and then the second one, which is the cutscene transition when you go into the Twilight Realm. Yeah, and trust me, that volume that's between the first and second trigger is pretty big, so you definitely need that second jump and a lot of air. It is kind of like the 1/100. No, it was for me 1 in 200 tries when I was doing this. Yeah, I was doing this when I was like 15, 16. But yeah, like a long time ago. A lot easier now to pull off because there's a lot known more about the the science behind it. Yeah, I'd say overall it's probably like the second hardest skip in all of Zelda's skips, next to the barrier skip in Wind Waker at Hyrule Castle. That is like notoriously going to be the hardest thing because of how precise it is. Outside of that, yes, I am back doing the whole YouTube scene shenanigans shit. I'll be trying not to swear as much because I have a horrible time not swearing. It's hard not to swear. Yeah. And be entertaining at the same time. Otherwise, I'm looking at maybe like uploading once or twice per week. I'm not going to be like full force, hey, look at me. We're just going to try and at least provide something that's quality rather than quantity, which I was doing back when. Yeah. You can notice it dither in my voice a little bit whack right now. I don't really do pre-recorded and scripts very well. So when I'm streaming, I have a lot more fluidity to the words of which I say. Yeah. Outside of being like a self-conscious wreck right now on the content that I provide, this is that, and that is this, and I'm going to just kind of let the rest play out, and I'll insert the audio clips where they may need to be for the tutorials. Although I will be transitioning off the first one, and the second one's gonna have a fucking montage. So, yeah. If you liked what you're seeing so far, and you put up with my cringy ass, feel free to like, subscribe, like the video. That's obligatory. I'm a sellout. We all know it. And this episode is brought to you by Dollar Ad Club. Because why not? Okay, otherwise, peace! That was a total knockoff of another YouTuber. But yeah. Tutorials later on. Timestamp. Yeah. See you guys later. Now, setup for this will involve 2 sequence breaks. For our first skip, we're going to be clipping through the bridge that separates Ordon and Pharaon. Now, we're going to line ourselves at about a 5-degree angle and then side jump into it. Now, if pulled off correctly, you should be landing inside the gate. What you're going to have to do during that, your canvas is going to be really messed up while doing this, is just roll and side hop to the center of the gate. And when you think you're close enough, which should be indicated visually, you're just gonna roll into it and try and bounce yourself out of there. When you collide while doing a roll, Link's gonna stagger backwards and flip outside of it on the other side. For the next sequence break, we're going to be skipping the Sword and Shield, with the help of our trusty companion Hugo. Who's Hugo, you might ask? To some, he's a life partner. But for me, he's the key and all the answers to life. He's really supported me and helped me through the last while. For our first step, we've got to get Hugo across the bridge. So just don't run ahead of him or he gets lost easy. He's only got like a 5-foot visual range. After that, we have to get him into position. You kind of have to push him forward. He needs a little bit of guidance, but luckily his feet are made of ice, so we'll just slide nice and smooth across the ground. Now after he's lined up in the first trigger line spot, where Pheenoh would normally harass you until you get away from Hugo, you just won't want to stand there, right? Now when he cocks back and throws his club forward, not throw, but like, you know, like swing it forward, you're gonna want to jump back, because obviously that'd be domestic animal abuse, and even though Hugo's a furry, doesn't mean we want to hate on him too much. So after he's got that club nice and extended out, we're gonna leap at him like a dog with rabies, or a wolf in this case. Now after he's sky high in cloud 9, at the top of his angle, trajectory, yes, the pinnacle of his trajectory, yeah, follow up with another jump attack. And that will most likely kill him. But in doing so, when performed correctly, we should hit across the first trigger volume into the second, which gives you that transition to go into the Twilight Realm. And of course you want to say yes, or else you're just going to be pushed back, and that's going to be quite a ways. Now as for the rest, is pretty simple. Restore Pheenoh back to normal, and go pick up a wooden sword. Now, there's nothing to really worry about in terms of overriding, because you can't actually get the Ordon sword or the Ordon shield at this point. Skipping them both means that you just cannot get them in any way, shape, or form when performing this skip and sequence breaks properly. Though if you do want to pick up the shield, unlike what I'm doing in this run, you can easily go and get it, and then perform the Hugo skip. I think it took me an hour plus. There we go. We did it. We freaking did it. Cornmaster. We did it, bro. Yes. Still want to go? Yes. Hugo's coming with us. Okay. Hugo's gonna meet us on the other side. Okay. And that's... I got a wooden sword.